So there we have it. Argentina beat South Africa just by a point, 29-28. It does mean that Argentina theoretically could still win the Rugby Championship next weekend. That means Argentina would need to beat them with a bonus point. No losing bonus point for South Africa. Now, the first half was full of tries. It was also full of terrible defending, actually. As the game went on, everyone got hot and bothered because of the conditions, and the game really went bitty, and it was all a kicking battle. Definitely no exciting plays in the second half particularly, but it was tense. To start with, the best loose head in the world, Oxenshea, pulverises Scalvi, and they don't really capitalise on that dominance till later on in the second half, but it's a monster penalty anyway. Big touch kick from Pollard, and South Africa more briefly before Pollard whizzes the ball, lays along to Fassi, and it looks like the Red Sea has parted as Argentina have a huge hole in their defence, but it is pretty good dummy lines by South Africa, but still, it looks far too easy. A candy off a baby try. Great start for South Africa, 0-7. Then a few minutes later, South Africa strike again with their team attack looking the best it did in the whole game at this point actually. South Africa getting forwards round the corner at pace. Good forward momentum. Ben Jason Dixon spots a chance to dummy an offload. Really good play, and then Creel hits a killer line from out to in, and the Argentina forwards are looking a bit silly because they just don't spot it, grasping at air. 0-14 before 10 minutes is up. What a great start. The crowd is completely silent as they're stunned. Argentina are giving away penalties, and it looks like Argentina just aren't at the races for the first 10-15 minutes of this game as they get another penalty to South Africa. Pollard's crossfield kick, to be fair, is nearly intercepted, but when things are going your way, it all goes your way. It falls to Creel, another penalty, good kick, 0-17 just after 10 minutes. Now in this situation, the Pumas needed to wake up really quickly, otherwise the game could be gone. Luckily, they get the shot in the arm. It's Albornoz, the 10, who switches play and breaks, and an inside pass to Chocobaras looks like it's been covered by Van Staden, but he misses the tackle pretty badly. Van Staden not having a good defensive game. Matteo Carreras is on hand to finish, so a tale of poor defending maybe at the beginning of the match. It is 7-17 after 14 minutes, and Argentina really, they just are an emotional team. They needed that lift. The crowd lifted and they managed to turn it around. Amazing work from Montoya as he tips the ball straight to Oviedo, who goes straight through Ben Jason Dixon and Van Staden again far too easily, but Van Staden makes up with it with a good jackal to stop a possible try. On 17 minutes, it is a yellow card for Renza. He does dip in the tackle, but not enough. It stays as a yellow, but luckily for South Africa, Argentina miss the penalty from a gettable position. Then we get a try, really nice try out wide for Matera. Good hands, but again, horror tackles. On the right, Creel misses Sinti outright. Then on the left, Reinach seems to be marking no one and lets Carreras breeze past him. It's a horror show of defending, but nice handling all the same. So after 20 minutes, it's 14-17. A crazy sort of game, and then Argentina go ahead. Albornoz is being very smart. He knows Arenza isn't there, so there's more space in the backfield to kick to. So he spots the space, puts it in there on the left. They make 50 metres on the kick return. That leads to a penalty, 5 metre maul chance. They peel off the back to the touchline, and it looks like South Africa have got it. They're shoving them into touch, so Oviedo just chucks the ball over his head. Scalvi looks as surprised as anyone as the ball falls into his hands, and he kind of flops over Mapimpi with his bulk to score. And they're ahead just like that. They've turned it around. 19-17, a crazy game. Talk about momentum, but at least they capitalise on that Arenza yellow card. And then South Africa start to wobble a little bit. Visa drops the ball in a good position when he's going to deck. Missed first up tackles, like I said, continued to hurt South Africa. Argentina wriggle over the gain line. They trap Ben Jason Dixon on the wrong side. It's good play. Albornoz punts the ball beautifully into the corner for a 5 metre line out chance. South Africa choose to compete, but the ball goes over the top and they're in big trouble as the Pumas pound the line. It's not pretty, but it's patient. But I'm afraid it's Van Staden again with a horror defensive play as he shoots up when he doesn't need to. Marks has got Bertrano, and that leaves Albornoz with a 2-on-1 on Mapimpi, and he does really well to dummy and go over. So they stretch ahead a little bit more before half-time, 26-17. But in this topsy-turvy first half, it's South Africa at the finish, the strongest actually. Marks overthrows actually in a good position, but Thomas Atoy rescues him with a really good jackal, very strong in the ruck there, impressive stuff. 2 penalties in a row, and Reinach taps the second one and scores as Argentina lumber backwards. Scalvi is the guy on the edge, looks a bit like a traffic cone as he goes around him. Where's the Argentina winger? You could say again, poor defending but sharp stuff from Reinach. So it is actually just 26-22 at half-time. Then as the heat really starts to get to the players, it goes into a bit of a kicking game and all the tries go out the window. Fatty doing well from box kicks, taking it at full pace. He is very good under the high ball. The SA forwards run off Reinach very effectively. Decent tackling from Argentina, but it's a metre at a time for South Africa. A huge number of phases, eventually gets a well-earned penalty, so they actually get to within 1 point, 26-25. They empty the bench a little bit earlier than normal. It is incredibly hot. Etzebeth is on, Koch, Elric Lowe and Mane Liebok taking Pollard off very early. Maybe that cost them in the end, but making the changes early. The huge bomb from Mane Liebok seems to be the go-to weapon. Mapimpi chasing hard. He had a good game, Mapimpi, hit good lines, looked really fresh, actually impressive stuff there. And then from a good tackle from Mapimpi on the chase, Am and Lowe win the counter-ruck, and then South Africa are back ahead finally, 26-28. I make a note at this point that the second row, Ruan Norkia, has a really good skill game, good handling, good restarts, good line-out, impressive stuff. There's lots of kicking, but neither side can click in attack, that is for sure. Unche and Koch annihilate Scalvi and Gajo twice in a row, and both sides get line-out steals, but there's just no flow to the game. But you're thinking at this point, with all these set-piece, it will favour South Africa. They get a third penalty in a row, but Liebok goes for the corner and overcooks it. A really bad error, puts it dead, because that could have been a chance to pull even further ahead, beyond a penalty at least. But it's not just Liebok. Albornoz puts a couple of kicks out on the full. Hendrickse chucks a wild reverse pass forward. No one can land this killer blow. And then we finally get our first bit of running quality in the second half, and it's from Argentina. It's a simple wraparound play from Albornoz, but he does it at speed. Am's kind of drifted, but he's also gone forward a little bit too much, so he can't adjust and make the tackle, and Albornoz is straight through, handing off Hendrickse as well. They could score right there, but they get stopped, but at least they get a penalty as Dixon gets trapped again on the wrong side. So Argentina go ahead, 29-28. In the last 10 minutes, South Africa have a couple of scrums in kickable positions. They try and go for the penalty, but they actually get free kick the first time, and then when it goes down the second time, the ref says play on, so they can't get any joy there. It is the Liebok high bomb that's the go-to attacking weapon, and it looks like it might pay off as Santiago Carreras can't take it. Could be really costly, but yeah, they can't get the penalty from the scrum, but they do get it from the resulting ruck as Hendrickse cleverly traps an Argentina player in there, and he's pinged for not rolling, and it is in front of the post. It's not the easiest kick, but it is very gettable. If Pollard was on the pitch, you'd say he'd definitely get it. Liebok is there, loads of pressure on him. We know that kicking is his weak point. Can he save the day and, boost his reputation? Unfortunately not. It's a horrible kick, drags it wide, and that's what we were worried about with Liebok. It's going to haunt him, and it might actually damage his future selection. Let me know what you think, if it's a one-off or if those are the sorts of kicks you've just got to get as a South African kicker. South Africa have one last play from deep, but they can't get there, and Argentina win 29-28. So like I said, it does kind of go down to the last round. Now, I did say in the build-up that it was a bit of a risk of Erasmus taking a much-changed squad to Argentina. A few people said that it's not a risk, any South African team can go there and do the job, but I think I was kind of proved right there a bit. It was a bit of a risk, and they didn't come down on the right side, although you could say Liebok really should have got that winning kick as well. Love to know your thoughts as always. Pop them down below, like, subscribe would be awesome, and I'll catch you next time.